Hello, everyone. Welcome to T1TV. I'm Asha Brown, your host today. Today we're talking with Shreekant Pawar, who is the founder and CEO of Diabeto. Some of you may have heard of this, some of you may not have heard of this, so we're excited to kind of hear the full story from Shreekant today. So hello, Shreekant. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Asha. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Yes. Oh, let's make sure. I'm going to just make sure that you are featured right now. I'd love you to start by telling us what is Diabeto? What is the
Right.
whole gamut?
Right. So Diabeto is a combination of the entire system, which consists of a hardware device, a mobile application which sits on your iOS and Android devices, and a web software as well.
Excellent. You know, I'm having a bit of difficulty making sure, and now you're muted. Something's wrong here. Show progress. Can you still hear me? There we go. Shreekant?
Yep.
Good. I thought I lost you, but I didn't. We're both back now. Good. All right. Moving on. I'm sure they can find a way to edit that out. So moving on, when you showed us the little device, which I think looks like a little birdie, so that's pretty much all you need, right? Besides, you know, your daily testing supplies and everything to be able to get this system going.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, you need the hardware device.
Yep.
And obviously, you know, you need the applications as well. So the applications would be for free, which you can download when we come up with the hardware device. So we would be making the applications live as well, and that's it. And there would be a web software as well where you can remotely analyze your readings, or you can give the access to your healthcare practitioner.
That's wonderful, and I think this era that we're going through right now is all about being able to share data in a much more easy manner, and especially for people who live with type 1 diabetes, there's just so much to explain, and you know, the more ease we have in sharing with our provider or sharing with our family, or you know, a family with a type 1 child being able to access it, the better. You know, we're done with paperwork and you know, just little tiny log books. It's so nice to be able to have more choices.
Right, right. Absolutely. You know, when we actually started working on this idea, we were primarily focusing only on type 2 diabetes because, you know, essentially we were just looking at glucometers. But as we progressed, you know, we understood the real importance of how important it is for people living with type 1 diabetes to get the data as well. And you know, we were getting emails almost like every alternate day from people living with type 1 diabetes that, you know, they need this kind of thing. You know, just today we actually made our device compatible with Bayer Contour Next Link, which actually talks with Medtronic pump as well.
Oh, congratulations! So, yeah, you guys are moving fast.
Absolutely.
Well,
yes, we need to.
Yeah, and I'll just interject now to, you know, you and I were talking earlier about how you will also be working on making Diabeto compatible with Dexcom. So that's the other thing, you know, that I think would be very appealing to type 1s. And that kind of leads us into, I'd like to hear, there are a couple apps and things like this on the market, but what sets Diabeto apart from those so far?
Right. So obviously, you know, the first things first is that, you know, we are making it easier for the entire diabetes management. You know, we want to transmit the accurate data from the medical devices. I mean, you know, Diabeto is compatible with 30 glucometers right now, and we are really close on making it compatible with Dexcom G4, continuous glucose monitor as well. So Sorry, can you repeat that?
I'm just saying that's incredible. I mean, that's a lot of work and just a lot of determination to be able to go the mile with all that.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we've been researching since about 3 years, And the best part about what we think is really cool is that we've made the device completely open, which means that you can go right now and download all the files and entire firmware as well, and you can make your own Diabeto as well. So we don't have any patents on the device or on the system, because we want to make sure that we want to make the entire ecosystem open, so that that actually encourages the creativity and innovation, because the medical device industry is driven by patents, and I think that's one of the factors where the innovation is not really happening as fast as it should be.
Absolutely. I really love that. I didn't realize too that you could go and make your own and have choices. And I think the T1D community especially, just we really, I mean, we are in control for the most part 24/7. So it's really nice to be able to have options. I mean, even when in the 90s glucometers started coming in different colors, that was just huge for everybody. So I love that. That's fantastic. And I think it also is a testament to the direction that our community wants to go to, where we are in charge and we get to make choices, and the fact that you're making that available is wonderful. How did you get started with this concept? Like, what made you start thinking of developing this?
Right. So first things first is that I'm a bachelor in pharmacy. And my parents, both my father and my mother, they are living with type 2 diabetes for about 25 years now. And I've actually seen my father struggle in maintaining the diary and taking it to the doctor every fortnight. But one fine day, what happened was that his entire diary, where he had readings for about like 5 years, he misplaced it.
Oh,
And the doctor was like, the endocrinologist is like a really, really busy guy, and he doesn't remember that what he prescribed to my father, and he had to go to the tests again, the HbA1c, and it was like a complete mess. And that's when we thought that actually we have to come up with something for people like my parents. So as I said, that we initially started working for type 2 people, but then afterwards, along the way, we had our learnings, and then we said that we have to cover the entire type 1 and type 2
that's
diabetes people.
wonderful. The thing is too is I think with with any type of diabetes, you're doing extra work, compared to people who don't have diabetes. So
Right.
you do the extra work, manage the disease, and then have this little book or some sort of place to write down everything to keep track. Like, that's, now twice as much work. And so I think, as we move into this generation and use products like Diabeto, that's at least removing one extra stress factor for people with diabetes, and that's something obviously that we all want to do. Do your parents use? Well, I suppose it's still in progress, but have you worked with them and had them test out things with Diabeto?
Absolutely. I mean, they were my first point of contact. So obviously, they were my first test subjects. And
Fun.
especially because my parents are senior citizens, so it was really, really important for us to incorporate the accessibility factor, so that senior citizens can also use it. At the same time, children can use it, or people with disabilities can also use the hardware and the software. So it was really important.
Yeah, can we see it again? Let's show everybody again. I just want to make sure we
Absolutely,
see it.
yes.
It's really cute. I'm
So
really
this
excited
was
to get one.
yeah, this is where you charge it.
That's
So
very.
one charge lasts for about 25 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it completely charges in about 10 minutes.
That's awesome. That's very cool. We were just talking about the fact that you just kind of started partnering and collaborating a little bit with Scott Johnson, and I'd love to hear more about that so we can let the viewers know what's going on with that.
Right. So Scott is a great friend, and he's really well known in the diabetes community because of the awesome work he does. And especially we were aware about Spare a Rose campaign, which Scott and other great diabetes advocates are running for a really noble cause. So we thought that we wanted to do a little bit of our share for the campaign, So right now our Indiegogo campaign is going on. So we thought that for every Diabeto which is purchased or pre-ordered on Indiegogo, we would be giving about $5 to Spare a Rose campaign.
I love that. That's fantastic. And that's bringing awareness to Diabeto, but also to, in my opinion, one of the most important. I mean, all the fundraisers are important here in the diabetes community, but that one, I think, hits close to home for anyone who's had a child with type 1. And then also, what you and I were talking, before about the difficulties that you observe in your country with diabetes management and access to care.
Right, right. So just like Spare a Rose, we are very working closely with Type 1 International, which is also a non-profit working in the Type 1 space and making it affordable to the children in Africa, as well as Super Blue. Erin Little, she's doing really a great job with people living with type 1 diabetes in India. Also, we are working closely with Tide Pool and children with diabetes as well. So yeah, I think the diabetes community is very close knit, and together we can really make a big change.
I agree, and it sounds like you are already on the right track. You know all the right people.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for sharing some of the story about Diabeto and sharing and just hanging out with us today. I know that everyone will be seeing your name pop up more and more, as well as your device. How long is your Indiegogo campaign going for, just so to let everybody know?
Right, so the Indiegogo campaign will be going on till March 5th. So we have like about 23 days more.
All right, well, we will make sure that we get that information out, and we'll have links when this goes up so that people who want to know more, they want to go to the Diabeto website, can easily access it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Shreekant, for hanging out with us today.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you, Asha.